Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Hello, T. All right, let's get started. So our card tonight is the Moon card, which is always one of my favorites. Oh, please don't knock things over. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these tea leaves and see what they have to say tonight. Okay, so immediately I'm seeing a face. Right up here we can see we have the eyes, the nose, it looks like a beard, maybe antlers, next to a tree. And it looks like we have, definitely the Taurus sign. We have somebody holding that, it looks like. You can see the head, the arms there. And then we have a person here who looks like they're stomping, and there's a question mark. You can see the arms raised here, the legs, it kind of, this movement, like a stomping. So I'm looking at this and it's beautiful. It looks like a bust of maybe a kind of wilderness god, or deity, or, icon, mythological being. And one that looks quite regal, maybe a little bit aged. We have that big puffy beard, and those big antlers. So we know the antlers show us this is a being that has some time under their belt. They are definitely not very young. So I feel like this. Now, it doesn't feel like Bacchus. It does not feel so much like the Green Man. It doesn't. I feel like, and I'm trying to remember exactly what the name is. I always think of it as Ceranos, but maybe that's not the right one. How you say it. It is the antler god, and yes, one of these wilderness gods, beings. And so I feel like this is a real sign of virility, of creativity, of a fertility symbol. We know that for those fertile fires, right? The wand energy, the fire energy. This is the creative and I'm trying to think how to say it without, because I'm in the first few minutes of the video. It is that force that moves through all things, bringing them life. It animates the cells. It's the electricity, and so I feel like this is a time where you are feeling quite confident. I imagine you like some miraculous beast in the woods, just absolutely living in your own vision, unbothered by anything outside of yourself. You are focused. You are focused. You are doing your thing. It is coming to you naturally. There is a sense of real balance between work and play, allowing yourself times of leisure, of enjoyment, of passion, sensuality, and so on. And this is like the perfect place for you. I think when you remain too in that work mode, too focused on, things that, yeah, you enjoy them, but they're not really, this isn't the sweetness of life per se. And you spend too much time there. You start to become a little bit too, I think of like being a cog, right? A cog in the machinery, lost in the bureaucracy of things. And it's just not where you belong. I mean, it's like they say, a bull in a china shop, right? You don't belong in that frame of mind all the time. Like a Taurus, stuck in an office 8-9 hours a day, seems like, restless to me. Although, I think that you are good wherever you go. You probably are quite adaptable and pretty good at controlling the way that you interact, controlling your workflow and all of these things. But I don't think it makes you happy long term, right? You need to escape the drudgery of it all once in a while. And I think this is like really where you're at. You are absolutely, I feel like, focused on the work, self-healing, finding something for yourself that feels meaningful, and excelling in it. Really, I feel like mastering something. You are an ever learner. This is something I've always loved about Taurus people, is that you maybe have a lot of things happening at once, but you are somebody who never gives up on learning. You're always, in some mode, excuse me, of your curiosity, of your that drive to get out there, find something else, find something deeper. Like I've said in a lot of the Taurus readings, almost all Taurus people I've met, I think all of them that I know for sure are solar Taurus, lunar Taurus. All of them are artists. And now it is true that I know a lot of artists. a lot of my social circles have been related to art, music, art, and these kinds of things. But I feel like it's always the Taurus people that have the most interesting and innovative, forms of art happening, what they're creating, what they're researching. This isn't something we think about with artists a lot, is that a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them spend a lot of time researching, learning about their widely usually, but also about the techniques and the materials and the traditions and so on that they're working within. And so there is this necessity to kind of adapt, right? Be able to flow into new eras of creation. And I feel like this is why Taurus people are just such great artists, because it comes naturally to you. So I can see you out here in your wilderness, taking some time for yourself, getting that, that kind of really primal fire burning, blazing hot within. And with the tree there, I feel like, there's a sense of setting down roots in this place. You know, I feel like this will be for a while. This will be a place that you are existing in for a while, a mode that you are existing in for a while. And I think that this next year, no, not my plant, not my plant. Go on. Go on. No, not the plant, mamas. It's the only plant I have in the house because you always eat them. Tear them apart. So anyways, yeah, so the tree tells me this is like you're going to be in this creative, this innovative mode for a while, at least throughout this year. And I feel like you have a real gift, and this is kind of on the nose. But we have the person who looks like they're thumping. It also looks like a gift box with a little bow on top. So I do feel this is such a beautiful time for you. Now we also have an angel sitting on a throne there, holding, it looks like a rose. Okay. And then we have a person who is kind of riding it looks like a badger, but I can't imagine how that would work. A giant, like, I don't even know what period, like a Jurassic, I don't know the periods of time back then, but when animals were huge. I was watching a thing the other day where they were talking about beavers that were as big as men, and I thought that is pretty, that's pretty wild. Huge rodents. So maybe they had badgers that were that big back in the day, millions of years ago. But I feel like there's this sense of, I mean, just such power in your life right now. There's always power, but I think you are really in that space. You are fully invested in continuing to gather your strength, your power, your kind of a holistic wholeness, right? And I feel I'm like thinking of I'm thinking of like that opening scene of like He-Man. There's like powering up, or the Power Rangers even powering up. There's just this energy kind of gathering, and it feels like, you know, like in your heart chakra, in the down to the root, right? In this middle core area, I just feel there is a real sense of strength there, and in such a creative light, but also there's a sense of healing as well. And I feel that this is really going to be a time where you are and if you are somebody who does healing work or not, I feel that you're like a person, and I think it's because people know, like they just intuitively know that you are a healer. But when people aren't feeling good in your life, like say like your mom, she calls and she says, yeah, I'm just, I've my joints have been killing me, and if you could come over and help me with something, I need your help. I would like you to be here with me, whatever it is. Now, it's an example, right? But I feel like it's because when people are in your presence, when you come into their space, when they are near you, it eases the burden of their pain, of their ailment. You just have this kind of natural ability to keep people kind of distracted into places that are healing for them. You get their mind off of their stress, off of their hurt, off of maybe kind of toiling and feeling poorly for themselves, and when they're with you, it is kind of this angelic energy. And, I think that emanates from you. I also think that you do have this, this elevated guardian angel around you. And I really do feel like this is a being that watches out for you. You talk to them, they're there. Now, you might not call it a guardian angel. It could be a guide. It could be an ancestor or some other kind of intelligence. But I think that you are fully aware of them and you have such a deep connection. And you do. I think that you attempt to honor this presence in your life. And that is felt. That is felt. And, I think that a lot of your power is also is derived from your faith and your deep connection to the divine. I also feel that we have the person kind of riding this large mammal of some kind. And I feel like there is this sense of... we also have a raptor bird right next to it, kind of sitting. So those birds especially are related in my mind to the air element because they fly so high. And it is a place of logic, reason, of a wider perception. It also could be dreaming and daydreaming and creativity. But it is that sword energy. And so, excuse me, I cannot win with this. It does sound better though today. I feel a lot better. But yeah, so we have that sword energy, that airy energy, and then we have this beast, a person riding the beast. And so I feel that there's this sense of really trying to overcome some of your more base instincts. This could be lust. This could be, just kind of wasting time, wasting money, seeking things that kind of, indulge you, alter your consciousness, or have a lot of, they feel good, right? Things that feel good, but they're destructive as well, right? You're not always yourself when you are in these modes. So it could be like, gambling or, partaking in different kinds of mind-altering substances or whatever. So I feel like you are definitely trying to control these parts of yourself and temper yourself and really kind of, at least try to, use a little bit of restraint. Right? I'm not saying fully abstinent all the time, but some restraint. And so, I think that that's not easy work. I know it's not. I'm in recovery. So I know. Almost 10 years now. And I know it's not easy. And it flows over into other parts of your life. And maybe it's not substances for you, but it could be something that, you just kind of, here's the thing about Taurus I see a lot is that you do well. You do really well because you're very gifted, talented. And then you get to a place, you hit a point where it's like, okay, now I'm going to kind of hang out. Now I'm going to kind of, do the things that I really want to do. And that starts out a little bit and then it gets more and more and more. And then it starts to affect the other things that you're working on in your life. And so there's like this constant kind of back and forth trying to figure out where is the happy place, where's the, the middle way there. And so I think that you've really made some huge strides forward in this aspect. And it's something to be proud of. I really do think, this is something that, it might seem like, oh yeah, well, I had to do what I had to do and it wasn't as difficult as I thought or whatever. But, the reality is there are plenty of people who can never figure this out. And it's not easy. And, being somebody who is in that conscious space that is working to master aspects of their life, to individuate and, kind of learn all of these different parts of their being and their personalities and personas and, and while working on, making something for themselves in the material world, in the mundane, base reality. That's all difficult. That's all of these kind of different things we're juggling. But, if anybody is able to do it, it is a Taurus. You just have this ability to shift through different parts of your being. You really do. And, with that moon energy, we just have to be careful. We have to be careful. It's easy to get lost in the light of the moon, right? It is a place that is kind of distorted. It is full of illusion. Sounds amazing. But it's also, it's a place where there's a song that I like by Bright Eyes in it. Anyways, he says something like, what sounded good in the evening, by morning it will be, basically like something that you are ashamed of. You can't believe you did this. You have not taken care of the things that you need to. It's kind of like, okay, now I have to scramble to, take care of all these things that I've put off because I've been lost in the night, right? And so, it's a reminder when we have that lunar card, it's like, okay, enjoy yourself. Don't become too frightened. That's the other part of the lunar card, is the paranoia, the anxieties, this being afraid of things that seem much worse than they are, or are distorted to the point that, it's unrecognizable and it's hard to process, like, what is going on here? What is happening exactly? What does this actually look like? And so, it is a reminder. Watch out for these kind of, pitfalls that are kind of scattered about. But I do think, you have a good head on your shoulders, and you do enjoy yourself. We have a person over here, it looks like a satyr, kind of dancing, but we also have the kind of a holy mountain, kind of a pyramid. We have an eye within it right here. So not unlike the all-seeing eye, a little bit different, but similar motif anyways. And then we have, it looks like a person kind of with this, it looks like a vulture to me. And so, I feel that there's the duality here of losing yourself in kind of that full energy, the ecstasy of agape and merriment. And then we have the all-seeing eye, or the holy mountain, which is kind of the path, more of a right-handed path. And that is more maybe traditional, or through a system, where you would think more of a left-handed path is kind of, indulgent, maybe a little bit, what's the word, kind of subversive and breaking as far as away from tradition as possible, or employing it in different ways, maybe kind of a little more chaotic. But then, yes, we have this kind of more, if you could think of like the philosophic over maybe the more practical. And there is the balance there. And I feel like especially with the raptor, the vulture, which is an animal that is so adaptable and so kind of, it goes where most won't, right? The ability to survive against all odds and thrive, really. And then embraced with this person, I feel like there is this sense of you really being in that kind of unifying field there, and really embracing your kind of core instinctual movements, but also using the higher thinking, that daemon energy, not to be confused with demon, daemon, which is higher thinking. And so yes, everything coming together, everything in its right place, as it always is, as it always is, if we understand it or not. All right, so we have we have the eye, we have a tree. It looks like a palm tree. We have the star, and then we have a fish. Okay, the fish right here. And so I feel like you have this distant goal, kind of your own paradise. And I feel that you see you're seeing the way towards meeting these big goals that you have. I think that it's all kind of coming into, and we have the sun over here. So it's all kind of coming into focus for you. There is that sense of now illumination. There are no shadows. There are no illusions. There's only clarity here. And this leads you to the fish, which is abundance, and usually monetary. It could be other kinds of resources, of course. But I do feel like this is a time of shifting into really making some money for, putting it away, saving, building the life that you have envisioned, and sticking through the process of that, because it doesn't just show up overnight, does it? Not often. So there is a enduring quality here, okay? Because if something showed up out of nowhere, right? All of a sudden you have everything you need. It's not need, everything that you want, right? Far beyond basic needs met. Fortune just showing up. That would be a blessing, but it is also something that can be quite corrosive. It can be something that absolutely destabilizes your life. Yeah, and I'm not laughing about it. I'm laughing about my use of words and pronunciations. But anyways, yes, it could, you read about this with people who've won the lottery, and their lives fall apart, not everybody, of course, but, so there is something to the money coming through the work, and it coming in incrementally, and, and being able to do something with that. Being smart with it, doing what you want with it, not just blowing it on whatever, having a plan. And I think that's where we're at. You are in this place of really, trying to make something of everything that you have worked so hard for. You know, this isn't just something to be taken lightly. You know, and so I'm excited for you. I'm absolutely excited for you. And now we'll take a look. We'll shift over here to the lightness of being affirmation cards. These are the earth element deck. And so we'll just flip through here and we'll stop where it feels right. Okay. And it says divine will, harmony. Meditate upon your sphere of radiance and let light permeate your mind. Yes. It's that light we were talking about towards the beginning. You know, it really, it's that fire, it's that divine light. It is the thing that brings not only just life, but the potent, just full of you know, full. I'm trying to think of a way, just like kind of swollen with life, right? It's just absolutely to the brim, power. The energy just absolutely like in all little corners of everything, feeling super interconnected. And when you make your mind up to make a move, everything falls into place. You're seeing things so far beyond, anticipating, and just masterful in the way that you execute things. And it does. It feels, you can feel it all through yourself. You know, mind, body, soul. And that's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. All right, Taurus. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you. And thank you for putting up with my silly. I do feel silly a little bit. We just got home so late. I'm working later than usual. And I usually get a little bit of a nap when I'm putting my daughter to bed, but I didn't tonight. So I'm a little bit loopy. But in a good way, in a happy way. And so I thank you for sticking with me. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. And I want to thank everybody who left really sweet comments from my husband and I for our anniversary. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. He is the best tarot reader there ever was, ever will be. He's amazing. So go check him out. And yeah, I think that's it. I also feel weird because I'm in a different chair. I moved my regular chair over to the new studio today, and I'm using this chair that is more like decorative, and it feels weird. I don't know. I'm going to have to find something else maybe to sit in. I feel like I'm sitting like really high up compared to my old one, so I'm kind of thrown off, to be honest with you. So anyways, I thank you. I love you. Good night. Take care of yourself. Enjoy. Go look at the stars. They're so beautiful this time of year. Yes.